Hey guys, it's Postbox Pat. Welcome back to a brand new video of all the Easter eggs and things you missed during the event. The first thing you may have missed would be these tubes. These tubes actually arrive inside of the robot's head. I thought I'd just jump straight into this video as always with these videos, but if you are new, tap subscribe because it would mean the absolute world to me. The next thing I thought I'd look for was Astroworld. I looked out into space and saw a bunch of purple planets, and I thought I saw Astroworld, but I wasn't 100% sure if I saw it or not. But these purpley glows in the background is what I thought Astroworld possibly could be in that space environment, similar to what we saw during the Galactus event. Inside of these pods, you also get a nice little screen and a little sound effect. It sounds very similar to the moon sound effect on Call of Duty Zombies. That's the vibe I got inside of here, kind of like a reference to that maybe or maybe not. But generally the main Easter egg here was just preparing for the event so you can get practice with the tools which you're going to use. And then there was a lot of different conversations playing, and some of them were really important. So I'm going to play some of the really important ones for you guys, but most of them were just talking about how the team's on the ground. But listen to the most important one that I thought was the most important.
Backups of backups, alarms, tripwires. If I didn't know better, I'd say this is Sloan's handiwork.
Good. We have unfinished business.
Yeah, you and me both. All right, I gotta ask. This whole total destruction thing just doesn't feel like Sloan to me. She does whatever it takes to win, but she's not a monster.
Sloan's never been in charge.
Hold on. Do you seriously mean that...
Geno. It's always been Geno.
Well, I told you I'd get you Geno, so you're welcome. Hey, so big guy, after this I think it's time I get my own 70 name.
No.
Now just stay with me here. Like what about the Infiltrator or ooh, the Hunter? Ooh, the Legend.
You want me to call you the Legend?
Oh, so we got one vote for the Legend. Great. Yeah, we'll come back to it.
That was probably the most important thing you wanted to hear about the Legend, so I feel sorry for the players that didn't get in 15 minutes before the event started and maybe missed that voice line. They may have been a little bit confused during the event why Jones was being called the Legend, but kind of a little cool Easter egg. Anyway, check out some other important ones which I kind of liked.
We're in.
Ooh. Origin, you are not gonna like this. The Imagine Order has full schematics for our mech. Weapons, comm systems, battle plans.
Copy that.
Okay, you don't sound concerned.
They may have the plans. We have the pilot. The scientist tells me he reinforced your suit for 0-point travel.
You know the plan.
I can't say I'm surprised. We'll support you from here if we can.
The 0-point really did foreshadow the future with the 0-point suits and travel and stuff, which we do see towards the end of the event, which we'll get into in a second. And finally, I just want to play one more before we jump into the event and all the Easter eggs inside of there, and that's going to be this one here. This is hilarious. This is probably the funniest one. It's related to Origin and the radio.
FM radio online. Would you like to build your combat playlist?
Radio off.
You've selected Smooth Jazz for Mech Pilots.
Radio off.
Radio power down.
Overall, all the little Easter eggs that we heard before the event really gave us an insight to what was happening on the ground between Jones and the IO and the Seven. It was really exciting, and we learned a lot about Jones, the Seven, Geno, and even just what was going on in their plan leading up to this. I loved it, and I thought it was a really interactive thing. They definitely should have done more, but I feel sorry for the people that didn't get in the event before this all started. So jumping straight into this, let's go into all the Easter eggs as we do go throughout the entire event. First off, we see the table go down into the ground. This was really crucial, and obviously we get Paradigm who pops straight out of the ground. This was kind of a little Easter egg. It wasn't really too much of an Easter egg, it was more of just obviously following the plot as we go through this, but it was cool, and I really did like that little reference with her coming out of the ground with the coolest pilot. And she'll probably be in either the Battle Pass, item shop, or crew in the future. And then eventually she just kind of talks for a bit and gets us input.
We'll have those shields down by the time you reach the island. After all, they do call me the Legend.
Copy that. Stand by to engage launch sequence.
So after the mech had taken off, we were ready to go, and we were going straight into the space situation. I thought this was a really cool launch, and generally nice little launch from the moon heading to the island towards the top left. Had this little loading screen, and we were in, and we were flying straight towards it. Really cool Easter egg to see this, and you had to shoot out all of the meteors. Now if you didn't shoot anything, don't worry. nothing happens. Like, it plays through even if you didn't destroy anything. This was just more for the interactive element. You could literally sit here and do nothing. I tried it on my alt account, nothing happened. So don't worry guys, if you did nothing during the event, nothing happened. It still plays through. It's just exactly the same, other than you're not interacting with it. So the island was pretty cool. You could see we have the flip side. We get this UFO, which is an Easter egg. If you don't know what this is, it's from the season 8 of Fortnite. You could find these all over the island, season 8 and 7. They were all over the place and they were really cool. And you can see we dodged that luckily nicely, and we turn towards the island here, and we can see the whole the cosmos over here, and even the 0 point surrounding the island. Look at all the beams going around the actual 0 point, or whatever you want to call it, the flip side. You can see the flip side as you glide in, and this is obviously the main side, which we can see here. We're going into the top of the island, the top side, and you can see all the POIs down below. I thought that was a really cool intro, and definitely I was enjoying that probably the most during the event, flying into the actual atmosphere of the island and coming in. I thought it was amazing, that kind of feeling and vibe. It was really strange but really cool. I just really enjoyed it. So the mech lands at one of the 7 outposts around the map where the vaults are based. I'm assuming this is the one towards the edge of the map, by, I guess it's by Risky. No, it's by Mancake's. No, it's not. It's actually landing at Synapse Station. So that's where it's landed, by Mancake's bomb, by Butter Bomb. And then obviously we need to take out the glider, and somehow IO have these crazy force fields. Now again, you don't have to shoot at this bit. You didn't have to destroy any of the tanks. This was more just for fun and kind of interaction during the event. So we're going to wind this on a little bit because it does get a little bit repetitive. We then have a lot of this mashing stuff to do. Again, you don't actually have to mash the button. It would still do this even if you didn't mash. It still has the same outcome, but it's cool. That's because that beam on top of the drill was absolutely lasering us. But we've taken down all the force fields, and we've taken out the drill, which is really cool. And now we've just got to keep pushing towards the collider. It takes us a little bit of time to get to the collider, but after a little bit of time destroying all the tanks and stuff, eventually we do head over to that direction. There's some really cool Easter eggs that do come in. I love the way they actually use the drills, like the smaller drills, to pop up these force fields. I didn't expect the drills to be able to do that, and I hope we do get the ability to actually maybe drive the drills or use them force fields ourselves inside of BR. And I have no idea how there were so many tanks, but for some reason IO had so many blimps and tanks which just came out of nowhere. These weren't originally on the island. I wish there was this many tanks in each Battle Royale game, because it would basically become a tank war. Unfortunately, the mech cannot handle all of these rockets. There's just too much firepower coming in out of nowhere, really, out of all of these blimps. They're just being fired out, all these rockets, and absolutely taking out the mech. So the mech takes a lot of damage, and we actually go down here. But luckily enough, we have a little bit of a backup from someone that's been having a little bit of a disaster this season. For those that have been following the map change videos, you guys know that I do map change videos every single update. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We also see a mech there. It's like a mini mech. That's a really cool Easter egg. That's the first time we see that in a long time. The mechs back in the day, they're on the island, so that proves that IO owns them. And then we get this slurp truck coming in super fast, and there he is, the legend himself, Peely, the driver. Not Jonesy, the other legend number 2, Peely, saves us. He technically is still Jonesy, but Peely saves us with all of his crazy driving skills, which have been a disaster. He gives us this slurp, which just absolutely heals us. We drink the slurp, and yes, we recover somehow. I don't know how. Even Paradigm's pretty shocked how this works, but it does. And Peely, for the win, absolutely saves us. We destroy one of the blimps also with the slurp truck, and that was really nice. And this is kind of a weird one, but watch the textures as this blimp falls to the ground. I was just spraying that mech. This blimp really doesn't leave any markings on the ground. I'm hoping next season has loads of broken blimps, loads of broken tanks, but it won't. But yeah, the blimp doesn't leave anything on the ground, it just kind of disappears. Everything you destroy just disappears. It doesn't actually leave any markings. I'm hoping there's loads of remains on the island, but there won't be. Maybe mechs. These mechs are cool, by the way. They can actually hover. Please allow us to do that if they add mechs back. I hope they can fly like that, like jetpacks. That'd be super fun. But yeah, you can see just destroying stuff as we do continue to go through here, which is really cool. Just lasering different pieces and just taking out different stuff. I mainly just switch between the weapons just for fun, but it's cool that all 4 of us are shooting at the different players around here. And then we get the collider over there in the distance. You can see he pulls out this kind of the mech. I thought it was a catapult at first, but it's actually not. It's actually a sword. They call it a light blade. It's basically a lightsaber, and it just slices through stuff, which is super cool. Takes down that blimp very quickly. That blimp goes down. I hope there's a broken blimp there on the map, and the map changes when the season goes live. And then on this left side over here, we've got another blimp. This one fires more rockets at us, but we take them out nicely. That goes down quite easily from the blade. It's so cool actually being in the first person of the map. Really cool. Much better than it was. I guess it's, I don't know, I like the monster event just as much actually. It was just a different kind of vibe for it. So yeah, taking stuff out with the mech, using all the different stuff. And then we get to the collider, and finally this is our chance. We start beaming the collider, then we go in with the sword. You get like a third-person view of it here, and it stabs into the collider. We mash the buttons, and boom, into the collider the sword goes. Huge smash, and slice straight into the collider. And unfortunately, we don't actually hit the collider. We go down. This is because Sloan clearly knew that we were going to do this, because what we heard before the event started.
Oh, look at this. Backups of backups. Alarms, tripwires. If I didn't know better, I'd say this is Sloan's handiwork.
Good. We have unfinished business.
Yeah, you and me both. Origin, you are not gonna like this. The Imagine Order has full schematics for our mech. Weapons, comm systems, battle plans.
Copy that.
Okay, you don't sound concerned.
They may have the plans. We have the pilot.
Now, once we get inside of the collider underneath it, we start to see the 0 point down there, and we know where we are. It's quite clear that IO have probably been harvesting the 0 point again to create the collider. I'm not too sure what they were doing with the collider. I don't really know their original intentions with it. It just looks like it was there trying to summon something or some sort of doomsday device. But obviously the 7 stopped it. Let me know in the comments if you know what they were trying to do with the collider. It would be interesting to see what their original intention with that was. You guys might know a little bit more than me on it, 'cause I haven't really followed too much with the audio logs this season. But let's move into some of the more Easter egg stuff as we do go into this, because you see Foundation obviously has a conversation here. He's talking about the 0 point, and this is our first Easter egg we get. When we look at the 0 point, it now shows us the Durburger from, I guess this is the Durburger that was in the western area of the world. I think it was in somewhere in California, I think on the west coast, was it? Maybe, but I'm pretty sure it's that Durburger, which was super cool Easter egg. And then we get another mech here, which is kind of neat, with not really anyone piloting it. I don't know how that's working, so hopefully we get them at some point. Solo mechs that are really OP. Let's hope we get them. And then continuing on, moving through, you can see we've got more stuff moving. Jones is kind of pushing, and we get more Easter eggs here as we do continue. And again, another reality. We see Darth Vader fighting Obi-Wan. Really cool little Easter egg there. I love that. Reference to the brand new Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, or Obi-Wan Kenobi show with Darth Vader in it. So that's pretty cool. Then we continue to move up as we do go, and more of the IO soldiers are up here. Again, very easy to eliminate. Again, you don't really need to eliminate them. They will just go down themselves. So I was kind of just not really taking part in it and kind of exploring the area more, trying to take in what is actually around us. And Jones is helping us out, and obviously Foundation, they're doing pretty well. And Sloane's still up there in her tank firing, as you can see her up there. Look at her there chilling. You can actually shoot her, but it doesn't deal damage to her, as you can see. So Foundation continues to push forward to get towards the Dr. Sloan, and we do start to see some more Easter eggs here. They kind of camp it out, and they're trying to get I guess they're trying to bait Sloan here. I was looking at the 0 point. I absolutely loved it. Got a really nice little point of view here. And you see, really nice. You got the huge mecha that comes in nicely here with the big hand. He actually slams down with the hand on to Dr. Sloan. I don't know if that kills her or not, but we'll have to wait and see if she's going to be dead or not. And then we go into this cutscene, and obviously Paradigm helps us. And this is where we see probably the biggest Easter egg, and my favorite thing during the live event is where we get to look at Geno for our first ever time. So we can see we got the 0 point here, and there he is, Geno. Look at him. He looks very similar to the Fire King, which we had during the Season 7, but he looks amazing, like some sort of crazy demon. So there he is, Geno. Really nice little Easter egg. They go in, Jones and Foundation go into that other world in the 0 point, and they just start to travel around and try and hunt down Geno. Then we have to close the 0 point off by destroying these upper tubes, and then they're in there. They're obviously in the world, and we got to shoot these down. They've gone to travel to another dimension or something, so it's going to be crazy to see where Jones and Foundation have gone. But I love it, and I love where the storyline's taken us. I think definitely that was really cool, but I don't think we'll see Jones and Foundation now for a while, so we might have to wait a little bit until we actually see them reveal themselves and what's next. But wow, the collider really does fall, and it really does look amazing. At this point, luckily, the mech saves us, and the event just kind of ends there. But it does give us a little bit of a cutscene to where Jones and Foundation are going, or them traveling through the 0 point into another realm, area, world. Who knows where they are? But I'm sure, I'm certain, that we'll go here one day. But I love the little fist bump they do here. I think that's a really cool little Easter egg. And that's really it. That's everything. And then eventually we go to the mushroom screen, which we're still on right now until the season does launch. So really cool event, really cool Easter eggs. I hope you guys did enjoy it. And again, I'll see you guys in the new season. Let me know in the comments what you thought. And if you want to check out the full event or any other videos on screen right now, check them out. I'll see you guys soon.